In this video series, actually, I'll talk about the encapsulation. The idea of the encapsulation of Java. There are like two levels. I can tell you easily like two levels. The first level is like we'll talk about the syntax of the idea of how can we encapsulate something, or you can think that how can we protect something from outside. That is in the idea of the syntax, that how we use it. And the other one is the idea of the design, because I already mentioned that in this course it is about the object-oriented analysis and design using Java. So the idea of using encapsulation in your class, how can we do it like better, or in the real world, if you want to design an object, how can you think about encapsulation in your object? So I want to start with this one. I will write the code, and I will send you this link, the link to the collab one. So I want to start with the create a Java project. So actually, I would like to start with some simple class that maybe we will use this class and try to improve it in the next video series. So at first, I will use no build tools here and create the class in my folder that I will use it many times. So you can store all of your works in some folder like mine, that is lab 2, and this one is the encapsulation. Okay, so I will use this as the project location, and this one is the project name. So this one I'll start with the bank account, and of course this one is so simple. I think you still remember it, but I can tell you before we will do it, we will design it. I'll tell you that this class is not well written. We just try to do something because we will have a lot of things after this. So you come from Python, so sometimes you don't know how can we use some simple mechanisms of the computer programming. That is like I never mentioned about if and loop. So I will try to add it in the example. Okay, so I'll start with the first one, that is the encapsulation project, or yeah. Okay, this is the project name, and of course this one is the app.java. So as I told you, this is the first thing. This class name must be same as the file name. So you can see that in the file name it is app.java here. So this one, app and app.java, they must be same. Okay, so I saw some error here that you use a different name. Maybe if you want to change it, I'll change it for as an example for you. For example, in this example, I will use the bank account to be our example. So I will use the name like bank account. Okay, so this one is the class name, and you can see that this one turned into red. Okay, so maybe something error here. So you can see that the public type bank account must be defined in its own file. So the idea is like its own file. So the file name must be here. Look at this. So you can rename it using bank account. So now it's already done. And because this one we are writing it using tab 9 and a lot of tools in Eclipse, you can do it the same way, but in Eclipse there are like something different. So guys, for the bank account here, actually you can see the structure. Normally I will talk when I talk about the class, I will start with the simplest one. The idea of the simplest one is, you can look at this. You have to define a class name here, public class and class name. And this one is the main method. The main method is like if you have only one class, for example, I hope that you still remember that when you use Python, you have like start from the simplest one. You have hello world. We have a lot of things that we wrote it in only one file. So and we don't use the main function. So guys, we have the simplest structure that you can write the Java program. So I always teach that if you need to write the Java program, or if you need to start learning Java, these 4 lines is very important, and you can think that this one is a template of the Java, the simplest template of the Java program. So this is the class name, and this one is the public static void main string argument s and throws exception. So this one is like the simplest structure, but you see a lot of things that a lot of keyword. So I'll start with some keyword first. At first, this one is very important. This one is the public one. The public one is the one that we allow other class to call this one. We will allow the other class to call this one. This keyword can be public, private, and protected. So I'll talk about this because today the main idea of this video clips is to talk about encapsulation, and public, private, and protected is like one of the mechanisms that you can encapsulate something. So this is the keyword class, so you can not name other variable to be class, and this is the class name. Okay, so this is the way that we define the method. This is the we call it the header or the signature of the method. The idea is, in the method you have to define public void. Actually, the void one, the void keyword is the method that won't return anything. So you can write the program or write the method that won't return anything, and you can use the keyword void. The main one, if you define a method main, it means that when you run this class, this is the first method that your program will jump into. This is a parameter set. This is the way that we design it to be a string. This is the string, the type of the data. In Python, we don't need to understand it, but in Java, we have string, we have integer, we have double, and we have character also. This one is the array, and the name argument is, what is it? Because this one is Java and we have to compile it. Many times we call it from the command line. So I'm not sure, but I hope you like ever used or ever called some program via the command line. Sometimes we call the program and we have to put the parameter inside. So all parameter will be stored in these arguments. So this is the name arguments. The static one, I talk about this later, but the static one is something that like this is the method of the class, not the method of the object. When we talk about the object, of course you have the class, and when you want to create or instantiate an object, that is you have some object, right? So for example, when you new something, you have a new object. And static is not, if you use static in any method or variable, that method or variable will be the method or variable of the class, not the object. What does it mean? All objects in that class will share this method. Okay, so this one is static. Okay, so we start with here. If you want to print something, of course, we will start with system dot out. This is the object of the system class. Is system class, and there are, so you can see that there are print line and printf. It means that this is the print format. So this one is the string hello world. So that's all. So once you finish writing this code, save it and run. So you can start with the simplest one first. So you can see that this one is already done, hello world. So this class is already finished. So guys, but if we start with something like this, it means that this one will be the main class. So in your thought, you can think that this one can be the main one that the program will run here, right? So it means that this one will be like the main class that you can try to start here. So it shouldn't be the bank account, because sometimes and many times when we design the bank account class, it must be the class that like not the main one. The main one can be like the bank operations. Here, this one is the bank operation class, but when we use it in a class, or when we use it in like something like the idea here, you can use bank account test. Okay, so we will test our bank account in this main class. So I'll change the name of the bank account to be bank account test. So guys, that's finished for the structure here. We changed the name app.java into the bank account test, but during that time we used like the idea of we will design, how can we design this application or this program. So I'd like to go to the next one using the other clip